We just got our blood work done.
Yeah, we did.
And our doctors asked us, what are we doing to have such great blood work?
Yeah. And you know what we told them?
ProCare!
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we told them, like, yeah, we take ProCare every day because they have a multivitamin that you can just take one a day.
Yes, exactly. They have a capsule and a chewable form. And not only do they have vitamins, but they also have calcium chews.
Oh my God, they're so good.
They're so delicious. It's like our own little sweet treat for the end of the night.
It really is, because they have the dark chocolate and they have the cinnamon roll.
Yes, and I love the salted caramel and the dinner mint.
Alrighty, we'll go to procarenow.com
and use code OSLP at checkout to save some money. You guys ask us all the time, what is our favorite protein powder?
Yeah, literally, we see this question every day.
And the answer is always
Devotion! Yeah. Oh my goodness. I even use it this morning to make my own sweet treat for nighttime, because it's just a brownie batter pudding. And you literally just use 1 scoop and then milk or water.
And then I use it every morning in my coffee. It's so delicious. Oh my God. I want one right now thinking of it.
Seriously, it's 20 grams of protein. So go get yours now at devotionnutrition.com.
And use code OSLP to save some money. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Clap.
Count us down.
You almost forgot to tell me I need a clap.
Get it together. You've done this enough. You should know. You should just know.
I don't know. Bam. Bam diggity.
Did you look?
I did.
Okay.
You know it.
Okay. All right. Count us down.
Welcome back.
No. You'll have to do it again. No. I was not ready. I was distracted. I don't know why.
What were you looking at, Kelly?
I veered off mentally for a second.
Okay. Welcome back, OSLP family. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. God, why did you're so weird? I'm like, I have to hear that before I say anything else.
I know.
You are listening to Our Sleep Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And we have, if you have not seen our Instagram lately,
What the hell?
And we just announced on Sunday that we are actually going to be hosting the first, the only,
the ever.
the Bariatric Award Show.
That's right. The Just Be You Bariatric Award Show.
Yes.
I'm so freaking excited.
So everything is coming together.
Yep.
We will be announcing dates and location and all of that very, very soon.
Yeah.
So if you want to get all these updates, go over to oursleeplifepodcast.com, and there is a little tab at the top that says the Just Be You Bariatric Award Show.
How cool is that?
And you put in your first and last name and your email, and you will get all the updates as they go.
Yeah, because you guys, like, there's going to be tickets sold, so you can actually come physically to the award show.
Yes,
which so there's going to be awesome swag bags. There's going to be prizes.
Mel's already telling everything, so hold off there.
I'm excited. Okay,
I am too, but we have to make sure.
That's true. That's true story. So guess what? Next week, though.
Next week,
we're going to be in sunny San Diego.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We are going to be doing the Barry Diaries podcast tour. And we are going to be what? Oh, she's freaking wackadoodle today. We're going to be there. We are going to do a show. We are going to meet everybody and take pictures and do all of the fun things that we always do at all of these meetups.
That's going to be a blast because, I mean, sunny San Diego, and we get to hang out with a bunch of people and get to meet the crowd. I love meeting the people. So this will be
It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. So if you have not gotten tickets yet, that is barrydiaries.com. Go to the San Diego drop down. It is the last one.
It is. It's the last one on her tour. And it's only $35. So come hang out with us.
Yes.
And say that we sent you.
Yes.
FYI.
And then, as always, go over to patreon.com/OSLP and help support your girls. We also have our wonderful, wonderful Benchies tier.
Yeah, our support group.
Yes. Yep. And we chat all day long. Everybody, it is growing at a very rapid rate.
It is.
And everybody loves being in there.
Yeah.
So we are very, very excited about it. We love the positivity that grows from that and the information.
Seriously. And how welcoming and chill y'all's are.
Yes.
Because, like, I was having like a mental health day /week And I put it in the chat and I was like, hey, so this is what's going on. Sorry if I'm not messaging. I know that I'm going through something here and like I just need to like quiet time. And everybody was super nice. And I was like, you guys made me feel so much better. Like it made me feel like a relief that because I was so scared that they were going to be mad that I wasn't commenting or liking their things.
No.
And after seeing all the comments, I was like, oh, never mind. That's just my own anxiety.
That is your own anxiety.
That's what it was.
So speaking of other places to go, don't forget to go over to our YouTube channel.
That's right. Because then you can see my face as I was laughing before. Yes.
It is. If you just go onto YouTube, it is on your phone. It comes preloaded. You just type in Our Sleeve Life Podcast and it will pop right up.
That's right.
And subscribe, hit the little bell. As Melanie likes to say, it means more to us than it does to you.
It is something, a free way of supporting us.
It is.
It is. And you just get notified and you get all videos. Like we have season 2 all the way through 5 right now. And 6 will start in July.
Yeah. And our patrons, of course, always get first crack at the videos. So it is, 10 days early?
10 days early. And that's a $10 tier.
Yes.
Yes.
And you get exclusive videos of us talking about weird shit.
Yeah, just anything that was on our mind.
We have the That's What She Said corner.
Yes, it is. It's so good.
And because if you've listened to us for any amount of time,
you know that's what Kelly
I say. So, all right. So without further ado, we have another bariatric diary person back for another check-in.
I know.
And so welcome back, Jeremy.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you back on. We've missed you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
You're looking thin, my friend.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you very much.
And not only thin, but happy.
Yeah, he's smiling ear to ear right now.
Yes, and very dapper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very dapper.
You are very like put together,
guys.
Sir.
He's more put together than I am right now. About 100%.
Hair's done. Beard looks good.
Seriously.
Shirt looks good. Yeah, you are
good for you.
Killing it.
Thank you.
So what's making this all like? What's making you glowing?
It's been a lot of changes. It's been really crazy. It's I mean, of course, their journey is definitely, it's tons to be excited about.
Yeah.
I'm 6.5 months post surgery, and I'm 8 pounds away from hitting 200 pounds lost.
Holy shit!
I got chills. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. Good for you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And and there's been tons of changes since from like the last recording to this one. Like there's just been a whole whirlwind of changes. I've moved from Texas to California, or back to California, which is great.
Yay!
I have a new love of my life, which is great. Yeah.
How awesome!
The little bariatric love story.
Yes.
She also has had surgery, so we can be each other's like partners through the journey.
Yeah.
And she's not too far away from you, right?
No, she's like a month and a half before me. She's middle of August, where I'm end of September.
Yep.
So
and we can.
We're pretty.
Go ahead.
Pretty close.
That's awesome. I was gonna say we can attest to how awesome she is because we actually got to meet her.
Yeah, we did
when you were here, and so I'm so glad that everything is going so good and that you decided to up and move. To a different state.
It was definitely a big change. Moving 1,700 miles away from where I was. It's been great. It's new. Besides the whole feeling like you have a new life because of weight loss, and it's like now there's all these other components that make it feel like I have even more of a new life. And it's great. It's like I haven't been this happy like in God knows how long. I don't remember. Ever being this happy and this confident, and it's crazy. I love it.
Aww, I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
It's pretty rad because it's nice to see the happy ending. I mean, it's not over yet, but still, you're top notch right now.
Yeah.
Do you think, I'm going to go right to it too. Do you think if you did not have the surgery that you would be like this already? Would you be at this level?
No.
No.
No, I think that, when I started, like when I decided I wanted to have the surgery, like I knew I needed a change, and I knew I needed like a drastic change, and what I had been trying in the past wasn't working, you know, because in the past I've lost, you know, like 100 pounds, and then I found it again.
Right.
And, you know, and I've done that a few times, and, you know, gotten super motivated, and then something just kind of like, you know, gets in my way, and I just kind of let it take over and win instead of winning over it.
Yeah.
And so like having this tool has definitely like helped me push that goal even harder, you know. And I mean, you know, definitely, I mean, like I lost 75 pounds before surgery. So it's like, I had it mentally, you know, to lose the weight. But when you have this tool, like, yeah, it doesn't do any of the work for you. You've still got to do all the work yourself, but it has that it definitely like forces you to make a lot of those changes where, you know, when, you know, you no longer can like eat the way you used to eat. And, you know, like I can't put away food like I used to put away food, because if I attempt it, eventually, like really quickly, there's a point where my stomach says, hell to the no.
Yeah.
You know, you're not, you know, and, you know, but so that kind of like serves as like more like my reminder. And I don't get to that point a lot, because when you're changing your mindset, you know where that limit is.
Yeah.
And you stop yourself most of the times before you get to that limit. There's definitely times where you'll sit down to eat and you eat more than you know you should have. And you're like, wait, I shouldn't have been able to put that much in my stomach. Like, did I have the surgery? Did it really work? Is it like, you know, is something come and gone, you know, but it's still, you still have that mental block when you look at it, like what you eat now naturally compared to what you used to eat naturally. And it's a whole different world. Like it's insane, like how different it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you?
So having the tool definitely helped a lot. And I don't think that I would, you know, like there's a good chance that I wouldn't still be on the journey if I didn't have it, because, you know, and definitely not as far as I am now, because I haven't gotten this far on a journey before.
Okay.
Where I've lost 200, when I hit, broke 300, like that was the first time. And I couldn't remember, like, I can't tell you like how long that I actually weighed less than 300 pounds. I'd gotten to 300 pounds before,
right?
But that's as far as I got. I never broke 300, and then I gained it all back. So when I broke that 300, it was like mind blowing. I was like, whoa, wait, I'm less than 300 pounds now. I'm no longer in the 300 category. Now I'm in the 200s.
Yeah. And that's an exciting thing. It's like, you know, like 200 needs to have a number 2, like Wonderland.
Yeah.
And I feel like Wonderland is kind of more, it's not so much about breaking the 200. It's about breaking that like barrier that you've, like a lot of people get stuck at that 200. I was the same. When I hit Wonderland, I was like, what the hell? Like I haven't done this in forever. And so it's more of like that, like you finally are breaking that barrier between like where you were before and who you are now.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that was really deep.
Well,
I didn't mean for it to be.
I agree with you.
No,
like, and I've done a lot of thinking about this too. Like, I definitely think that like the 200s should have like their own name too. Like, you know, like the 100s have Wonderland.
Yeah.
But there's like, you know, especially there's a lot of people that will never hit Wonderland.
Yeah.
Because they're either their size, their frame, whatever, they're never going to hit Wonderland, you know, but it's like, you know, so you know, and like most, like I will never hit Wonderland. I have no desire to ever hit Wonderland because it's not ideal. Like I'd be like a little too skinny if I ever hit Wonderland.
Yeah. So like it's not necessary.
Yeah. I don't ever want to hit it, but you know, so my goal is still is in the low 200s,
right?
You know, but it definitely, the 200s definitely need like some little quirky little name, you know, so they can feel like they're, you know.
We're going to start thinking of them like stats. And if you're listening,
thinking about it,
put some names in the chats, like in the comments and all the areas, because We want to know.
All the areas.
I know you're going to say that.
All the areas.
As
That's
I left
what she
my
says.
mouth, I was like, here she goes.
That's what she said. Yeah, no, I think it's like more of like the place you're at in your journey. And like you finally, I can see it on you. And like, I'm remembering back to when we first interviewed you pre-op to now, like you were so like talkative now. Whereas like the first one you were, I mean, and I know this is like several episodes in, so you're kind of comfortable in it, but you seem so much more comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And where you're at.
Yeah.
Big time. And it's funny because somebody like my girlfriend pointed out once, she's like, when you first started, even though you were losing a lot of weight, you weren't happy. Like all your pictures, like you might say like, I'm really excited or I'm happy or whatever, but you can't see that. You couldn't see that on your face.
No.
And I went back and looked because I was like, no way, that's not true. And I went back and looked and like, sure enough, like the post where I'm literally saying, oh, I'm so happy, or I'm really excited about this journey. I'm excited about all this weight I lost. You couldn't tell it on my face. Like I still looked like the pissed off, like not happy with himself person that I was before I started the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I get comments, from her, but also a lot of other people that like, now I just smile all the time. Like in my pictures, I'm actually smiling. I actually look happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That resonates.
It does come from within. So
it does.
It's very nice to see. Cause that's the first thing I noticed right when we got on the call.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
You're smiling, you're glowing, like you're happy. Great. That's the biggest, I think one of the biggest things that you gain from this is not so much, the weight loss and the new body and the, all of the other things. It's that you actually most of the time find you're happy and you're able to actually go out and live your life in that new happy.
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of like when you finally take control of something and then you like start accomplishing goals with it, you're like, oh, I can do anything. Like that whole determination just starts flooding through you because you're like, fucking, if I did that shit and that shit was hard, like I can do anything. And like, I noticed that with just like, that's kind of how this podcast was built. Like with me and you just going through that, like we feel good. We're going to do stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm all ready for it.
And you can tell because you moved from, Texas to California.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and in the process of moving, like I also was looking for like a new job as well. And ended up getting like landing a great job and with great pay. And it was interesting looking back at it and just seeing the amount of confidence that I had going into the interview process and through the interview process, that had it been pre-op, or before starting the journey, like I wouldn't have had the confidence that I had through the journey to be like sitting there and telling myself like, hey, you got this. Like, yeah, you're qualified. You're probably even like overqualified for the job. Like, why wouldn't they choose you? Like your resume, your qualifications, like you deserve this.
Right. I tell myself, I look good on paper. So if I look good on paper, then I just need to like vocalize it. Yeah. I tell it to me and Eric all the time. I was like, we look great on paper, but like when you meet us, we're a little crazy. But
well, who's not a little crazy?
That's right.
So speaking of the move, how did you stay focused during, because that was probably pretty stressful. You're finding a new job, you're moving to a different state. How did you stay focused in
like tracking? Like, did you
in
do
the journey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just, it's just deciding through the process. Like I'm, it's a big shift. Like I'm uprooting myself. I'm moving cross country. We're going to do a big road trip, but at the same time, it's like still knowing that this is still the journey. This is still what I have to do. These are still, I can't just like throw it away for a week.
Right.
Or even like, the month and a half in the preparation. So it's, keeping on, on top of tracking, keeping on top of making sure that I was getting my protein and my water every day, and like to say it was perfect. No, it wasn't. Definitely not. There were definitely days where you're like, it didn't work out, but you learn to like not beat yourself up and, and to forgive yourself and to, and then just the next day get back on it and do it again, and the road trip was great because, we, came up with the idea, like, let's packed bento boxes for the entire, for 4 days of the trip, so we had them all, we made them all beforehand. We had like a big cooler and, packed it full of stuff. So a lot of the stuff, we had with us in the car. And there would be like an occasional, like one meal a day or sometimes not even that, where, we would eat out, and it was just, it was making good choices on what we actually ate. But for the majority, everything was done for us. I think we went and got to like Costco and got 2 cases of protein shakes. So every morning we had our proteins, and
nice.
And we would just kind of sip on those throughout the day. And then, when we got hungry, we had snacks to, that kept us in our macros. And it was great. It was just a matter of deciding that before we ever took off that, hey, we're going on this big trip, but we're still going to keep with normal life for eating wise.
And that's what's cool about having a bariatric patient as your partner.
Yeah.
Because you can literally you guys both have to be on the same playing field. So it's forced upon each other. Cause I know when we were starting to hang out a lot more, I was like, I have to eat really well around Kelly, I just had that in the back of my head. And so when you're with a partner, you're like, we have to both we can't fall off
unless
together.
you're dating the world's worst bariatric patient.
I don't even consider him a bariatric patient.
He's not a good bariatric patient at all. But I try to, I bring him.
You're a good influence though.
I am. I'm like, should you be eating that?
Yeah.
Should you? Yeah. I'm just saying.
And I think that that's the beauty of being in a relationship with somebody that's had the surgery as well, that's on the same journey, is you naturally hold each other accountable. So, we constantly will call each other out. Should you really be doing that? Or, I don't feel like doing this. Really? Don't you think you should? And you kind of become and that's kind of the way we started too. We started as just, talking on Instagram, kind of becoming friends, and then kind of became literally motivational partners. And that's kind of where our relationship started. And
how pretty
so
is that?
We would literally just, it was for the long, a virtual ass kicking for the first little while. And then it just kind of bloomed from then, kind of realizing that we wanted, more than just, being great friends and motivational partners. We wanted to pursue it more, but having that person that's been through the journey, it's night and day. I used to joke, that was my new standard. It was here's my list of what I wanted in a partner, but I also want somebody that's been, that's had surgery as well. And literally it was at first I thought it was an unattainable joke, just a way of kind of saying I'm okay being single for the rest of my life. Because if you can't meet that, then it is. And then when it happened, it was oh, I guess this is happening. So, okay, this works, this works. It's great. It's nice to be able to hold each other accountable and, sometimes you have those uncomfortable conversations that you don't want to have, but you realize you're helping them in their journey as much as they're helping you in yours.
And they're keeping you motivated to do the things that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Because I know when I look at my partner and I'm they're moving all day long. I need to be moving all day long. That's just something that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And so if Mel goes to the gym and I'm just being a lazy ass and I'm not going, I'm oh, I should go. She's going, so I have to go.
That does go through my head as well.
Yeah.
Even today, I didn't go, but I was oh, Kelly went.
Yes, I did.
Fucker went.
Yep.
I need to go.
Well, because I was out all last week because of my sinus infection. So I was there's no way I'm missing any days this week.
No, it's great.
Even if I have to go super low key, Monday and Tuesday, I did 10 minutes on the elliptical and 20 minutes on the stair stepper.
There you go.
Super low key, but I went and I moved and I did it.
Yeah.
So that's
it builds that habit of going. Yeah. It's awesome.
So you guys have started a new workout thing, right?
Yeah, because when I was in Texas, I was doing kickboxing, and that's kind of what I started with when I first started the journey. I was doing kickboxing full time and a lot. And the gym that I was at didn't have a location here, so I knew that when I moved, I was going to need to figure out something else. And so we started kind of looking around at gyms, and couldn't really find anything that was close enough to it. And somebody had recommended like Orange Theory. And so we checked that out and loved it. It was just because it's like, it's an hour long, high intensity cardio mixed with strength training. And it's like, so it's used, it's treadmill, rowing, and then strength training. And you go nonstop for that hour, and it's great. You're beat when you're done and you're a hot, sweaty mess, but it's a great workout. And so we do that like 4 to 5 times a week.
Nice.
And it's definitely extremely rewarding. It definitely was, because when you're working out a lot, like eventually you get to a point where what you're doing is not, it's just kind of plateauing.
Right.
And so
you gotta switch it up.
And that's kind of where kickboxing had gotten. It was still a lot of fun. And I still, got a great workout every time, but it was kind of like that. It was just kind of that maintaining point. And so this was kind of the butt kicking to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of results since I started doing it. She's seen a lot of results since we started going, and we go together, for the majority of our classes, we go together. We plan out, hey, we're going to, I'm going to go to these classes, and we just join the same class. And sometimes we, it doesn't work out and we go to 2 different classes, but, and when we're in there, most of the time we're not next to each other. So we,
oh, there you go.
We can't, i.e. me, just stare at the other person the whole time. Actually have to do the workout and, keep yourself motivated. But yeah, it's been a world of difference, but it's very enjoyable.
So what kind of strength training are you doing when
so
they get to that part?
Yeah, like there's, every class is different. Every time you go, it's totally different. So some days it might be all, body strength training, like push-ups or, lunges or, stuff like that. And, but there's also like, they use free weights and TRX bands and it just kind of varies every time. So you're not, they do have one class that's like a 45-minute lift where all you do is lift. Where most of their classes, you're not doing a lot of lifting. It might be for like, 15, 20 minutes of the class where you're using weights. So you're not going to really bulk up unless you're, doing the lifting class as well. Okay. But you definitely will, you definitely notice most muscle tone, your muscles are getting bigger.
Yeah. Well, I used to do, it was a 5, 5, and 5. And it was like that, where you would literally do like aerobics on what is that board thing? The aerobic board, you know what I'm talking about? Like
when you like step up on?
Yeah. So you would do a bunch of moves on there, like stepping and going around the thing, for like 5 minutes. And then you would swap to doing like weight lifts. And you just lay on it and you do a bunch of arm stuff. And then you would stop doing that. And then you would start doing ab workouts with the board. So you just did that and you did that like 3 times through. It was gnarly.
Yeah.
But when you're with a bunch of people, you like don't stop. Like it's weird. Like you feel like you're going to puke sometimes. You get nauseous and like lightheaded, but you just keep going. Like your body just keeps going. Like everyone else is going. Let's go. Yeah. Like it's like a weird energy that happens in those. Cause I was like thinking before, like there's no fucking way I could do that. No. Like that sounds intense. That is for other people. And then when I did it, I was like, oh, I finished that thing. And it's really fun. Like I always encourage it. Now I'm thinking like, what classes can we go to? If I wish there was a 6 a.m. class. I wonder if they have one.
I'm sure they do.
We need to look. I'm going to look. You just inspired. I remember how much I like the classes because you get it's a full body workout when you're done.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. So like you're working every fucking thing. It's amazing feeling.
I'm doing training, so I'm learning through that.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm sure I would do a class, not on a Wednesday when I have training, but
no, that would be gnarly.
Suck. That would suck.
You'd be so bad. Sore.
No way. No.
I would never do that to you.
My trainer does not let me like gain an inch. Like he's like, no. You're not doing like today. He had me doing like upper back. So I'm like doing this and my arms are dropping. He tapped the bottom of my arms. He's like, arms up. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I love him for that.
Yeah.
It's nice with Orange Theory too, because there's, you have a coach in every class. So they're, and like, depending on the coach is like really like how hands-on they are and how much they're not. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely like a handful of coaches where they'll walk around, and if you're not doing it correctly, they'll call you out on it. They'll call you out on it and be like, hey, shoulder, you got to go to your shoulders, or, your posture's not right. And so they're making sure that you're doing it correctly.
Oh yeah. They would come over and adjust you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll literally like pull your legs.
You don't want to hear it, but you're like, okay, I get it. Like I understand it more, and you correct yourself. But it's definitely like being in that atmosphere, that kind of the group class, where there is an instructor that's walking around. Like it definitely makes it more motivational, where you get those points where you naturally start backing off because your brain's like, you're done, you're done,
you're tired.
And then but you have that person in the class that's saying, now your brain's telling you that you're done, but you have power over your brain. So tell your brain you're not done, and to keep going, because you can do it.
And once you break that too, like it only takes about a minute or two, and you break it, then it doesn't come back for a while again.
Yeah.
So it's like you just have to power through for a minute or two, and you can do it.
Well, and I'm flashing back to when we did our live with Michaela, because for some reason that live like really like it sparked for me. Like it just like set me on my new journey. And one of the things she said is your brain always wants to protect you.
Yes.
So if you're tired or you're in pain, your brain is going to tell you to stop whatever you're doing because you're not supposed to be doing it. And in your brain, that's what it's saying. Yeah. And so it's that's what, when you were saying, like, once you push past that, like, then you're fine, because your brain's like, oh, okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing then. Like, this isn't, because that's where I hit a wall with that all the time, of once you hit that, like, oh, I'm tired, I'm in pain. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to stop. Oh, but you can't. You have to keep going. Yeah.
No, you
don't
cannot.
have another option. You have to keep going.
Yep.
Well, and I think that's a lot of the, like you hear the word mindset a lot in, in the bariatric world, like, because it involves like a big mindset shift, to go from your old life to your new life. And even that mind, that alone and just working out is huge, because you have to get to that point where you realize, like, I know that I can do much more than what my brain is telling me I can do. Yeah. And it's where now you're finally saying, I'm not going to be okay with that. The point where I first start getting tired, like, that's no longer okay for me. Now I'm going to say, cool, I know that I can do more. So I'm going to push even harder, because I know for a fact I can do more.
Yeah.
And, and then you quickly realize how much more you can actually do, and how much more you can push those limits. And even that alone, a lot of times comes like huge NSVs, because you realize, like, whoa, I can't believe I just did XYZ, where I never thought I could ever do that.
Oh yeah.
And, but you have to, like, sit there and just say, like, I know I can do this. Yes, you're tired, but I know I have more in me to get through this.
Yep. The first day that I did 20 minutes on the treadmill or on the stair stepper, because I couldn't even do 3 solid minutes when I first went back. And now 20 minutes is like no big deal. And I remember, like, I was just like so excited for that non-scale victory, because I was like, I am tired. I'm going to hurt tomorrow, but I'm really proud that I actually got to do that.
Yeah.
Because not even anywhere in my journey have I ever done stair steppers. So that was like a whole new thing.
When you told me that, I was like, fucking 20 minutes? Like, that's insane.
At 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool when you get to hit those, not just the non-scale victories with your daily life or your clothes and stuff, but the non-scale victories like in the gym, where you see yourself getting stronger and you're making progress with that journey. It's a whole nother level to your weight loss surgery journey. Like,
yeah. And definitely just give yourself like little goals. Like, when you get those and you hit those, you're like, oh, I already did it. No way. Cause like I did the whole, like, I started like 21 minutes to do a mile, and now I'm down to 17, and now I'm like in the 16s. So I'm like, holy crap. And my goal is just to get to 15. Like, that was my main goal. Cause I was like, okay, in high school and middle school, they always said you should be able to do a mile in 15 minutes. And I've never been able to do a mile in 15 minutes. So I was like, let's see if I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, if I just gave myself like a minute at a time just to like increment it, I felt better. And I was like, wait, I'm doing that a lot faster than I thought I would. So you feel good and then you just do it more.
Yep.
So it's like little goals.
So Bianca's been going to the gym, Zach's daughter, with me in the mornings. And she went on the elliptical the first day we were there, and she could barely do like 2 minutes. She was at like two and a half. And she was like, my legs are jello. I can't do this. I think I'm going to fall. And I'm like, okay, get to 3 minutes and then go on the treadmill. Like, you're fine. It's your first day in the gym. Yep. So she does it. And then that later that night, she was like, oh, I'm going to increase it. Every day I go, I'll go up 30 seconds.
Yep.
I was like, awesome. So we get to day like 5 or something like that. And I don't think she was paying attention to the time. And she saw that it was at 7 minutes.
Oh.
And she was like, she hit me. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, see if you can get to 10. And so she made it to 10. But it was like, she got so excited about the fact that she could do 10 minutes where 5 days prior, she couldn't even do 3.
Right.
So it's really cool watching others.
It's so cool and it's exciting. And you're like, that's what actually like ignites like me. So it's like, okay, we all just need to just keep going. We got this.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
We did a, right before the day before, 2 days before we left Austin, through Orange Theory, we signed up for like it's called a dry try.
Okay.
So it's like a dry triathlon.
Oh.
And it's a 5K run or walk, a 2,000 meter row on the rowing machine, and then like 300 reps on the weight floor. And so it kind of mimics a triathlon. Do that. And we signed up for it, and it's kind of like we wanted something to do it, but also to like have a good baseline so the next time we did it, we could show a huge improvement. And I didn't, honestly, like going into it, like I didn't expect good results. I definitely didn't think that I was going to do as well as I did, because I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to complete it in my head. I'm just like, I don't know. And we both did it. We both completed it. And I like, cause you could, when you got to the 5K, you could either, which is 3.1 miles, you could either run it or walk it. And I was able to run all but like a minute of it. And I was like, I finished it. And
holy shit.
I was like the last one to finish, and I didn't even care. Cause I was like, holy crap. I just ran like almost the entirety of 3.1 miles. Like, that's insane. Like that's
100% insane.
And that's after like doing 2,000 meter row and the 300 reps. Then I ran the 3.1 miles.
So what's the 300 reps?
So it's literally it was a combination of exercises, and you just did them, you just did between the combination, I think it was like 15 or 20 different exercises.
Holy shit.
You did it a total of 300 times between all of those exercises.
You are going to have to send me this. I'm making a goal in my head right now. I want to do it.
It was great. It was great to like have that accomplishment and just be like, I did that. I finished that, be pre-op, like, before I started the journey. Yeah, right. I wouldn't have even made it through like, a few hundred of the rows, and I would have been done.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have completed that whole thing. And, now it's like, okay, now what's next? What can I do next? Like I want to do an actual triathlon where it's, not a dry triathlon, and, and like, you just look for all these things like, I know I can do that. So now what else can I do?
Yeah.
You just want to keep pushing.
Seriously,
to get better and better.
Well, because I already in the mornings when I do go, it's always a mile on the treadmill and it's a mile on the row machine. So it's like, and a mile on a row machine is 1,600 meters, and I've actually done 2,000 meters before. So I'm like, ooh, I know my time on that. Let me see what I can do here. So send me those things, because I will definitely I'll start training to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
give me a goal.
Yeah.
Little mini goal. And I know I can get Dylan on board, because he'd be like, I bet I can beat you, Mom. And then
there you go.
We can like, boom, competition.
That's
ingrained.
That's good.
Yeah.
So how's the food going? Like, do you have some favorite foods that you're eating all the time? Are you kind of switching it up? Are you getting bored of anything?
yogurt. I'm kind of over yogurt.
Okay. All right. Fair.
That was kind of like my go-to for a while because it's just easy, like protein, granola, and yogurt.
Yep.
And I still do it here and there, but I think that's about the only thing that I'm really kind of getting bored with, but I still eat it, just not as much.
Okay.
And food-wise, like during the work week, we do on Sundays, we do our meal prep. And so we do all of our like bento boxes and meal prep for the week.
Nice.
And, just kind of plan everything out. And, so that makes it, definitely really easy because you don't have to think about it every day. It's like, okay, Monday, this is what I'm taking for lunch. Tuesday, this is what I'm taking. And it's, and it's not just lunch. It's also like breakfast, snacks, everything. It's just kind of like planned out for us. And like favorites, not really. Cause we just kind of like, really just try new things. And, and if we have favorites, it's, or even if we go out, it's like, okay, what good choices can we make while we're out that's still going to fit within our macros? And we still, I still like, religiously track, and try to stay within my goals every day. Which, for me is 110 protein and then 12 to 1400 calories a day, depending if I've worked out that day or not.
Yeah.
If I worked out that day, like my surgeon definitely likes me to kind of be at the higher end.
That's what I say.
That I'm getting it, but yeah, just making sure that like I don't think that eating really has changed a lot since, even like, later post-op to now.
Okay.
A lot of the same kind of keeping the same kind of rhythms. And that's kind of, and a lot of that's intentional. And I think, just kind of mentally like keeping yourself focused and keeping yourself on the journey to make it a lifelong way of doing things and not just a temporary.
Yeah.
Well, that's the biggest deal is making sure you have all the behaviors so you can be long lasting in this.
Yeah, I actually was in my salon yesterday. Got the hair done. It's very bright now again. And one of the ladies that's in there, she's doing 75 hard.
Yeah.
And she's doing really, really good. And so we were talking about it. And I was like, how's it going? And she's like, really good. And she showed me this like progress video thing side by side of like her first day to like where she is now. Okay. It's incredible. But she's like, I can't wait for this to be done so I can go eat a crumble cookie. And like she said it and I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, diet culture is so real.
Yes, it is.
It's so real because if you want a crumble cookie, just have a crumble cookie. Like it's not going to derail you from your all of the hard work you had put in before.
Well, because to them it cancels out where they hit on the hard list. Yeah.
Well, because the 75 hard, it's a certain thing that you have to follow.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like it's good to challenge yourself, but I also feel like, when Jeremy, you're talking about lifelong. Like you're not going, like if you're craving a crumble cookie, you'll be like, okay, I'll have half of a crumble cookie. Or you make it to where it's like, it's not, you're not eating an entire cookie.
Yeah. You work it within your day. Like you make sure you account for it.
Yeah. Or be like, okay, we're going to share a crumble cookie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat a whole thing by myself. They are that good and I would eat an entire one, but I'm just saying like there's ways of having what you want in a splurge and not derailing all of the work.
Well, it won't derail you. That's the deal. Is like you have to break that mindset that it's going to, because it's not.
Yeah, because it goes back to like, oh, I'm going to starve myself all day because I'm going to go to this place for dinner.
Also, don't reward yourself with food.
Yeah, we're not dogs.
Rewards should never be food anymore. Like that's the one thing I've learned with this journey. It's like, nope, you get experiences. That's what I told myself. It's experiences is my goals.
Yep.
Well, and that's a frustrating thing is to, because you kind of hear that a lot, people will be like, oh, I can't have XYZ because I've had the surgery, but yes, you can. And that's why diet, standard diets fail so often is because somebody presents you with a list of you can't.
Yes.
And so it becomes really frustrating because there's this huge list of things you can't have. Like whether you have, even with having the surgery and, you're committing to this new life, yes, you can have those things, but the difference is that change of mindset and saying like, yes, I can have this, but I'm not going to have it like I used to have it. I'm not going to eat, like 3 huge pieces of cake.
Right.
Like I used to do. Now I'm going to have a small piece of cake and be good, and it's going to be fine, or whatever it is, like cookies or whatever, whatever it is that thing that you really want. Because the more you deprive yourself, the more you tell yourself, I can't have that, the more harm you're doing to yourself than anything else.
100%.
It's just realizing that yes, you can still have it, but it's in moderation, and now you're making good choices. And you're building them into your macros, you're building them into, if I really want this, what am I going to shift to accommodate for it? Or even if I slip up with having it once and it throws my macros off for a day, I know that tomorrow when I start again or the next meal, I'm going to be back to what I was supposed to be doing. It's not going to be the domino that's going to kick off the rest of the dominoes because I had that one little slip.
Well, and that's that switch that has to happen. That I know me and Kelly's talked about a lot. It's like, it's the next meal. It's the next day. It's the next time you want to eat. We don't do the whole thing like, no, we'll fix it on Monday. We're not doing that shit anymore.
No. And it's the different mindset that I found from the weekend is I'm no longer saying I have to go to the gym. It's I get to go to the gym.
Yep.
Because I was thinking about it and I was like, how much time did I spend bedridden where I couldn't go to the gym?
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to.
Yep.
So now that I'm able to move, why am I saying I have to go?
Yeah. 100%.
Like I want to go to the gym. I want to go do these things. So it's that shift of mindset. Like I feel like the majority of this journey is your mindset. And it's talked about, but then it's not talked about because, we are a weight focused community because that's what we're doing. Like that was our main goal when you're going into surgery is you're completely focused on your weight. But then when you get a few months in, you're starting to realize, oh, this is not just about my weight.
Right.
This is about what I mentally need to do to make this work.
Yes. And you triggered a memory. I was watching this movie and this guy was just walking past a poster and it actually said, walking is a privilege.
It is.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's highly correct. Damn it. Because it's real. I was like, that's about right. Because like, how many people do we know, like one are in pain walking, like AKA yourself
or your husband
or my husband, and then people that are handicapped and can't walk, like there's a whole community of that. And it's like, oh yeah, we should be excited that we get to get up every day, like physically get up every day and be able to walk around.
Well, and not only that, but like I can afford to go to a gym. Like there's many people that can't afford to go to a gym or can't afford to get the surgery. Right. Like we should be thankful for everything that we get to do.
It's an honor to be able to do these things. Yeah.
It's an honor to feed yourself healthy, delicious meals. It's an honor to be able to go to the gym because you may not be like somebody out there can't.
Exactly. So you're going in place, be like, hey, we get to do this. We're going to do this. Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. Because you wouldn't talk about a vacation like that. Oh, I have to go on vacation.
No, you wouldn't.
Like, you would be like, I get to go on vacation. So every morning when you wake up, you should be like, I get to go to the gym. And then get your ass out of bed.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, that's what I tell Bianca. Get your ass out of bed.
Boom.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get up. Go. She's like, you didn't wake me up in time. I'm like, I don't care. Both feet on the floor. Let's go.
I need a coach in my house.
I'm turning into a very good one.
Because like I do that for Dylan. And so it's like, I wish sometimes like someone was like in the house being like, nope, your turn. You need to get up.
Yeah. I even go to Starbucks after and get her espresso and I make her coffee and I bring it to her while she's getting ready.
You make it easy.
I'm like, here, drink this. I'm like, where's that for me?
That's what I'm trying to say now, man.
Yeah. It would be nice.
Oh my goodness.
It would be nice.
So Jeremy, you know what we love to talk about? NSVs. I know you guys all thought I was going to go somewhere else.
Yes, I was.
Totally
you saw the fear in his eyes.
I did. Nope.
Well, I think the big one was your triathlon, right?
Yeah, that was a huge one. And it's like, there's been so many NSVs.
Yeah.
Like I like flying, huge NSV, because I no longer have to like ask for the seatbelt extender,
right?
You know, and there's slack in my seatbelt.
Yeah.
I now fit in my own seat and don't feel like I'm spilling over into the next one.
Right.
And, you know, and so I can just sit there and I'm not doing this whole like contorting my body and, you know, trying to not touch the person next to me. It's like, I can just sit there normally and just sit there.
That feeling is weird. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I just remembered being like, wait, you actually can sit in the seat normally and not have a problem. Like when it first happened, I was like, oh, this is what like normal people feel like on a regular day. This is crazy.
Yep.
The last time I flew, I'd flown a few times since I lost a lot of weight. So like, the joy of the seatbelt had already kind of worn off, and it was like, I realized that I was totally in my seat. I wasn't touching the person's next to me seat. I was able to put the armrest down and still fit comfortably. The tray table came down, and I was like, I can't remember the last time that tray table was able to come down and not, you know, and not being at the point where I just hoped there was nobody next to me so I could use their tray table instead, because mine wasn't going to come down.
Right.
You know, being able to use my own tray table was huge.
That's amazing.
You know, because
I've never thought about that.
Yeah. Because it would touch your belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely did. It definitely did. But I just kind of rolled with it, I guess.
Well, when we go on the plane next time, we're going to like mess with it.
Next Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a video of you.
My favorite thing about the airplane now is that I sit like this.
Yeah.
In the seat. And I'm like, haha, I can do that.
Well, it was interesting. Like last week at the gym, we were doing some exercise and we were using like the Bosu balls, like and for those that don't know what a Bosu ball is, it's pretty, it's like that half yoga ball with a big flat piece of plastic on it. And you use it either, a few different ways. And we were doing, one of the exercises where you were doing like push-ups using the Bosu ball. And when I was doing one, all of a sudden, like it hit me that I no longer was afraid that this thing was going to pop underneath me. And then I no longer was in that weight category of being above the max weight for most items. Oh. And it was like, holy smokes. Cause you always hear like that's the first thing, being a bigger person that you look at when you're going to do something is, what's the max weight on this? Am I under it or am I over it? And most of the time, like being heavier, like I was always like quite a bit of ways over that max. And so you just didn't attempt it.
Yeah.
But it was the first time that I realized like, oh, I'm under 300 pounds now. Like I now can use most things and not be at that max weight or over that max weight. And that to me was a huge NSV.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a great one.
I love it. Yeah. Are you shopping for clothes?
I do. And it's great to like shop at normal stores and not have to like look for the big and tall store or, hope that they, for some reason have, the 3, 4, 5X shirts. It's like, I'm comfortably in a 2X, which, every store carries. And so I can go in there and just be like, oh, I want this. And, I still do a lot of thrift shopping because, I'm not to my goal. I'm still losing weight. So I don't want to like keep investing in these brand new, wardrobes. So
I wouldn't.
We do a lot of thrift shopping, but it's cool to like grab a big selection of these clothes that in my brain, I'm saying none of this crap is going to fit me because it's a 2X. None of this crap is going to fit. And then having like 95% of it fit great. And then, my girlfriend will grab me something that's a smaller size. And I'm like, there's no way this crap is going to fit around my ass.
And she's like, no, it will.
Like, whoa, it does. Yep. I can't believe I'm this size now. And so shopping, it's finally a point where shopping is fun, and enjoyable and, and then being able to like, look at yourself and be good with, be excited about what you see in the mirror and, be able to tell yourself like, damn, like I look good. I'm happy with what I see in that mirror. You know?
Yeah.
It's not just somebody else telling you. Now it's like you can actually tell yourself. You know?
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the freaking best feeling.
I feel like that's one thing I did not do along the way as much is tell myself that I looked good and that I was, that I was doing a good job, because it was always like, okay, next 10 pounds. Okay, next 5 pounds. Like, let's just keep focusing on the weight instead of I was like, damn, girl, you look good.
Yeah, appreciating yourself. Yeah.
Or damn, boy.
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
Are we ready for the sex question?
Oh my God. Tell her no. Please tell her no.
You can tell me no. I just want to know, how's it going?
It's great.
Good. There you go. See? You don't have to go into any details. I mean, I would want it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say.
I love the look I just got from her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
so at least we know it's good.
Yes.
I'm having fun.
Yes.
Sweet.
Well,
and I think too that like it's that and so many other things in life, they're just, you realize when you're so much smaller, they're just so much easier.
Yeah.
It's no longer the mental block of knowing that what you have to do and what you're going to do is also going to involve you moving your massive body around with you.
Right.
Things just are so much easier besides just normal everyday life of doing the simple things like tying your damn shoes. Everything just gets so much easier.
It's just lighter. You're just lighter now. So like you can maneuver and move around and not be exhausted afterwards. Like that's the one thing. Like that's so I know you guys always laugh about the whole like me talking about sex though, but for me it was like I have endurance now.
Thank you for sharing that.
I'm not tired like right away afterwards. Like I can breathe better.
The breathing is definitely an added benefit.
Yeah. It's just like those are the things that were like super awesome because I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can do these things now and I'm not like fucking winded.
Sex in itself was a non-scale victory for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was just more fun. I was like, oh, I can do these things and not be one like self-conscious about them. Not self-conscious anymore. That's stupid. Because me and Eric's had that conversation of quite a few times, actually, even this weekend, that I realized that like I was just so uncomfortable with my body. And also I didn't think, since I didn't like my body, I automatically assumed he didn't like my body. Dumb thing to think.
No, it's not dumb.
But they're with you for you.
Yeah, but it's not dumb to think like it. Obviously, he loved you, but you can love somebody and not like their body.
I guess that's true.
I mean,
but so I just assumed he didn't. So like we never explored anything. So like, but now that I'm confident, I'm like, oh, we can just do these things. Like it's not a problem. And it's because we can talk about it with each other and then we can express it. And now I feel confident to even do those things. Before that was like a no-go zone.
And being with somebody who you actually like being with is a huge plus.
That's always a win.
Yes. I know Jeremy feels me on this because
1,000%.
Yes. It's different when you are with somebody who you honestly feel connected with and want to have a connection with.
Yeah.
Versus just like, I don't really care.
You're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
As bigger people, we kind of just did that too. We would just go through the motions through the day, kind of just like zone out, just like try to make things as easy as possible.
Yep.
Like that was like our goal.
Yep.
So I totally understand. Like that you can go through all aspects of your life.
And you become like the settling champions. Like everything in life, you just settle because you just think like, well, I'm bigger. So that's just the way it's got to be.
Right.
And even when it gets, even when it comes to like relationships, you look back and you realize like, oh, I settled, because I thought that that's all I could have.
Yep.
Or this person treated me like crap, but I allowed it because I thought that that's all I could have or that's all I could get.
Oh yeah. I mean, 10 years of marriage right here. Like it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good either. Like, and it wasn't the type of like, oh, you go through ebbs and flows through relationships. It was just not like there was nothing there.
Right. That spark wasn't there.
No. No. So I know.
Well, I think that's why it's good that like you guys got out of those relationships because you know how like that's in like courage because some people don't ever leave.
Well,
even though they should
we
have
thank
years
Satan
ago.
for that, because if he, and I say that, if he hadn't left, I never would have.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was so comfortable. No, I take that back. I think eventually I would have hit the end of my rope.
You told me it would have taken a couple of years.
But I think that his leaving gave me the courage to be like, I'm going to be fine.
Right.
And then I was able to open up and be the person that I am. And I was able to find somebody that I really like and enjoy being with and that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because I remember that being one of the first things that I told Mel. I was like, the next guy I'm with, I want them to make me laugh and then find me funny. Like, because I hate that he never found me funny. Yep. And I'm sorry, but I'm funny.
I think you're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's what I found.
Exactly what you found. And that's what you need afterwards is like, look for the things that you want.
Don't settle.
No settling.
Don't settle. Like, life is too short to be unhappy.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, and that was part of the push for me to lose all the weight, was realizing that like I didn't need that. And I could do this stuff on my own. And, and I didn't have to let a bad situation ruin me, that I was a strong enough person that I could do it if I wanted to. And that was like when I, decided to get the surgery and decided to like change my life, and to lose all the weight. That was all me, and realizing that I could do it. And I didn't need to like rely on what other people said I could or couldn't do.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So with you moving, your surgeon is in Texas. So did you find a new office in California?
Not yet, because I love my surgeon. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's one of like, and she's one of like the two top surgeons in Texas.
Yeah.
And she also travels around the country training people training surgeons on Da Vinci's, the Da Vinci machine. And so she's, in my mind, she's one of the best there is. And so I like right now I'll just do like telemedicine with her.
Okay.
She follows me on Instagram too. So she'll comment on my posts or I'll comment on hers. And, but I'll definitely probably find somebody here local too. Just in case if I need anything else, but for like my 9 month and my year, I'll still check in with her just because I want to have that continuity.
Yeah.
And I'll probably even like fly back for my 1 year so that I can take I had a shirt pre-op like that I got like when I was leaving the hospital that said it's like looks like the warning label and it says straight out of bariatric surgery.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I wore that on my first out of the hospital, but also on my week post-op visit with her.
Okay.
And then I also wore it again at my 6 month. And so when I go back for my year, I want to wear it again where I'll be just swimming in it.
Ooh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. You'll be all buff too.
That's right.
Hopefully, that's my goal.
So I was going to ask, what are your goals for the next few months?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is just, keep doing what I'm doing, keep pushing, keep, staying on top of my macros, staying on top of working out, fluids, and also like, making that shift to long-term, knowing that like finding that balance of what can I easily keep for the long stretch that's going to be comfortable, that's going to keep me, when I get to the point where it's no longer losing, now it's a maintaining, what does that look like? So kind of making a lot of those shifts, because I only have my original goal that my surgeon gave me was like 220.
Okay.
So I'm not too far from that now because I'm 286 now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not that far from that actual goal.
Yeah.
And and I might not even make it to that magic number. I might, my ideal weight might actually hit before I hit that.
It's true.
So, so just, working on that mindset of, making this the long term, and setting goals and still keeping with the, knowing that I can do so much. And so what does that look like going forward? And I have like a bucket list of things that I want to do, being a smaller size, like different activities or different places to go, knowing that, my weight is no longer the obstacle that's going to prevent me from doing those things.
Awesome.
How exciting.
It sounds like you're mentally, you're there, like you're getting in a good path for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Well, and that's huge for me. And also like, we've like myself and my girlfriend, like we have the conversation a lot, like, what is it that prevents us from ever going back to that person we used to be? I can say that I'm never going to do that, but what is it going to be that's actually going to stop me from doing that? And
that's a great question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And a lot of it to me is just the, being able to constantly reflect back on what I couldn't do and who I was back then. And realizing that I don't ever want that life again, because I know where I am now. I know the amount of confidence I have. I know that just how great that I feel on it every day, and knowing that I enjoy this life right now, and that I don't have a desire to ever to see that person again, because I know how hard it was being that person. Like I have a video of my son's graduation, and COVID was, it was in the middle of the pandemic. And so, it was a virtual graduation where they kind of like walked around the track and, one by one, and watching that video and watching the way that I moved and just being like, it was more of a waddle than a move, than an actual, like a fluid walk, and realizing like, I don't ever want to see that again. Like, cause now I can walk, I can run, I can cycle again and do all these things. And I feel great. Yeah. And I love it. And so like, I'd rather stay in this moment now than ever see that again. Just making that, promise to yourself that I'm never going to go back there, but also like, what can we do to make sure that we don't ever do it? And a lot of it's that accountability with each other, and, and putting things in place, like, keep tracking. Like, yeah, you're probably not going to like, track religiously for the rest of your life, but you still like have to track to a point to make sure that you're still staying on track.
Exactly.
Even if it's a mental track, you still have to track, because you have to make sure that you're keeping yourself in check. Because eventually, like, there's going to be that point where your tool is not going to be such a big tool as it is now, because you're gonna be able to eat a little more food,
right?
And realizing that, like, yes, I can, but I'm gonna choose not to.
Yeah.
It's more of a choice.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, Mr. Jeremy.
Not really. Just like one thing that I constantly say, in posts is that just trust the process. The process works, but, and tell yourself that you can do it. And, when your brain starts saying you can't, remind it that it can, and push yourself a little harder. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday. Monday's never going to happen. It's never going to get here, because then, because the Monday will now be the next Monday and the next Monday. Just, decide today you're going to do it, and just trust the process. The process works. It works for, it's worked for me, but it's worked for so many other people too. But you just have to trust it, and you have to decide you're going to stick with it.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to do the work.
Yep.
Like the tool can't work for you. You have to work for it. So just prepare for that.
Yep.
So I can't wait to see what you're going to be like in the next 3 to 6 months. Oh my God. This is exciting.
Yes. Because our next, our next check-in will be 9 months.
Yeah. Right around 9 months.
So that's going to be crazy to see you. Like that just seems like so far away, but it's really not.
It's really not. Yeah.
It's right around the corner for you.
Well, guys, you guys, if you guys want to see these videos and see Jeremy's face, especially when I make him blush a little bit, you can see it first if you go to patreon.com/OSLP and pick $10 or higher, because that's where they get it first. And then if you just want to wait, you go to YouTube and you type in Our Slave Life Podcast. We are the only ones So it makes it easy. Just click that bell, hit subscribe. And then again, it means more to us than you. Just hit those buttons so we can get more subscribers. So everybody can see more and more and more, because that's what it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jeremy, for being on.
Yeah.
We really appreciate every time you carve out time of your busy schedule to chat with us. So,
of course.
All right. Well, we love you guys, and we will see you
next time.